it's the Plant-Based Panda, and today I'm going to be doing a video on how to go vegan. So this is just a video about like tips for new vegans and maybe if people are stuck on like how to transition to veganism, that sort of thing. So just a disclaimer, this video is not in any way to say this is how you should go vegan and there's only one way that it's possible or anything like that. It's just a few like helpful tips that I found helpful when I was transitioning to veganism, just to make it like easier. So it's not in any way saying that the way I did it is right or that it's going to work for everyone. It's just some ideas if maybe people are stuck or whatever or need help trying to like convince family members. So yeah. Now, to be honest, I did not have a phase really of transitioning because I watched the documentary Earthlings and I decided pretty much to go vegan overnight. I mean, I'd already been vegetarian for quite a long time, and that just really, it made me realise that what I was doing was not enough for the animals, and I was unintentionally harming so many chickens and cows by consuming eggs and dairy still, and there was so much more that I could do by becoming a vegan, and I was deluding myself to think that I was doing enough as a vegetarian, and that really opened my eyes to that fact. So I did actually go vegan overnight after that. So my first tip for transitioning to veganism would be to do your research. So what I mean is research the reasons why you want to become vegan and watch documentaries such as Cowspiracy and Earthlings in order to reinforce the ethical like foundations to why that you've chosen this lifestyle. Researching into veganism will also mean that you'll have arguments when family members or other people are unsupportive of veganism, and you'll be able to tell them exactly why you've chosen this lifestyle and how you're going to make it work for you. My second tip is to always be prepared. This means that if you've got a social event planned or you're going out, it's always helpful to think ahead and see if there are any vegan options available, and if not, that you bring your own food. And I know that can sound a little bit awkward, or you might find it weird to bring your own food to a restaurant, but it eradicates like 99% of the stress because people will accept that you've bought something different, and you just need to explain that that's why you're doing that. And it's really, the focus is not going to be on the food, it's going to be on the social situation, so it's really not a big deal. And if people are making a big deal about it, that's their problem, not yours. It's also helpful to have some kind of like emergency food. That sounds so weird, but like say you're going out and you don't know like if there'll be vegan options available. You don't necessarily have to bring like a whole meal, but something like a Trek bar or a Cliff bar is always handy to have in your bag, just in case, you know, you find yourself out shopping a bit later than you thought and you just need something quick, because it would be so easy to grab like something with animal products in, like a chocolate bar or a non-vegan snack bar, because they're so much more widely available. But it's actually, you know, you want to make sure you've got something that is plant-based available to you so that you're not going to resort to those options. What I found helpful was to draw up a plan for the week, and that didn't mean I wrote down everything that I would eat, and because that would be a little bit too structured for me, but I just thought about what I had in my fridge and my cupboard and what I would make for meals. My third tip is to accept that you are going to make mistakes. You know, you might not intentionally, or for whatever reason, there will be times that you'll probably consume something or buy something that you didn't know had animal products in. And that is absolutely fine because you didn't mean to, you did not know that it did have animal products in, and you won't make that mistake again. That's the important thing. You will learn from this and you will make sure you don't buy that product again, or that you'll just do your best to avoid consuming animal products like of any kind or buying them. So I would just make sure that, you know, you accept that that's going to happen and you don't use it as an excuse like, oh well, I've had that had like a bit of milk powder in, so I might as well just go back to how I was before, because you're still on the road to veganism, you're still on the road to not harming the animals, not harming the planet. You just need to accept that mistake and move on and try and make sure it doesn't happen again. Tip number 4 is to look at your current food shop, whether that be something your parents do or yourself, and think about the animal products that you buy and an adequate vegan alternative to those products. It's a common misconception that vegan products are more expensive than animal ones. In fact, most of the time they're a lot cheaper. Things like lentils, legumes, vegetables are so cheap. They're probably some of the cheapest products on the entire planet, and they are probably the staples of a plant-based diet. Of course, there are things you can get that are more pricey because they are specific to vegans, but those are still helpful. Just if you've, say, got really used to eating a certain brand of chicken nuggets, switching to something like the corn, or well, the vegan corn. I don't think they do nuggets yet, but like, or the fries, vegan nuggets will just make your life so much more easier, because you're not missing out on what you're used to, and it doesn't feel like such a bigger step. I mean, later down the line, you might find yourself you're not really craving those sorts of things anymore, and you don't need to spend lots of money on vegan alternatives to animal products. But certainly, in terms of like milk and things like that, if you're so used to having milk in your coffee, milk on your cereal, Alpro milks and also like the own brand supermarket plant milks are so good. They have really like come a long way in the last few years, and you probably won't even notice the difference. They are getting cheaper and cheaper. I think there's everyday value Tesco soy milk that I've got at the moment, and it tastes fine, and you're not harming a cow in the process. Tip number 5 is to get inspiration from people. There are thousands upon thousands of vegan what I eat in a day videos on YouTube that can give you inspiration about healthy, tasty, and quick meals to make. Tip 6 sounds very simple, but some people can get this really wrong, and it's just to eat enough, because you'll find that plant-based products take up so much more volume and make you more full quicker, but they're actually quite relatively low in calories compared to animal products, and that can cause some people to unintentionally undereat on this diet. So it means that they probably aren't getting enough nutrients, and they'll feel tired, and then they might end up craving animal products because the body's so deprived of nutrients because it's not getting enough, that it thinks, oh, well, I'll go to my next most dense calorie source, which is usually, those animal products that they've been having for such a long time, when actually that's not the solution. The solution is just to eat an abundance of plant food, whole foods that just completely satiate you and keep you full and energized throughout the day. And yes, it does take a while to get used to, having a bigger volume at meal times or whatever, but you can definitely, like, there are some things that you can have throughout the day that are like snacks, so that are a lot more dense, and it will make your life so much more easier. But just make sure you definitely get enough. Tip number 7 is to get rid of all the animal products in your house. And this may sound quite drastic, and I don't like, as a vegan, I think because it is such a environmental issue as well as an ethical one, I don't like waste, and I don't like throwing things away. So what my friend actually at the meetup, my friend Mary, suggested is that when you're transitioning to veganism, what she did was she drew up a meal plan that used up all of the animal products she still had in her fridge and her cupboards within 1 week. So then after that, she didn't have the excuse, but oh, well, I've still got that and I've got to use that up. And what that meant is then she could focus on just having, entirely vegan food after that. And I thought that was a great way just to, you get rid of everything that you're not going to have anymore without actually throwing it away and wasting it. Alternatively, if you were very uncomfortable with still consuming those animal products and you did have people around, you could say just let them have the animal products. I mean, I still live with my family, so when my mum had been unintentionally buying corn thinking it was vegan, and actually, well, some of them are vegan now, but a lot of them still have egg white in them. So what she did was just make corn products for her and my brother while I was having tofu. And it's very simple to do that. It just acknowledges, like, right, that's what we did. We made that mistake, but now we're just going to be fully vegan after that. And it does create quite a good milestone. Like, right, that's when I'm becoming vegan, and there's less of a sort of semi-vegan phase where you're not quite sure, like, oh, do I eat that? I don't know. Like, it just gives you quite a good cut of, like, right, from this day I'm just going to be vegan. Tip number 8 is to make veganism social, whether that be by cooking for your family and friends or going out to vegan restaurants with either vegan or non-vegan friends. It just makes it so much more worthwhile, and it proves that you don't have to just eat kale to be a vegan. You can actually, it proves to them that there is so much abundance and variety in a vegan diet, and it might even make them decide to go vegan too. Who knows? It's also really helpful to go to vegan meetups and meet like-minded people on the same journey. But of course, everyone's journey will be different, but it's just nice to meet people with a similar mindset and who don't judge you for the lifestyle that you've chosen, and also see how many different ways you can be vegan, and you will just meet the most incredible people who just make the whole thing so much more easier, and they'd have probably been vegan for a lot longer, so they can give you a lot more tips as well as this video. I hope you found at least some of those tips helpful, and if you do have any more questions, please leave a comment below and I will definitely answer it. And if you want more videos like this, please like, comment and subscribe for more. Thank you for watching and good luck with your journey to veganism. Bye!